think I finally understand why. When people get released and they badmouth the company that they just left from, it's a coping mechanism because they don't want to take blame for anything that they've done wrong in the situation, and it's their fault, the company's fault. It's their fault that they held me down, that they did this, did that. This man, see, when Ricochet showed up at NXT, he showed up with the name Prince Puma, but they changed it to Ricochet. And when I seen him, I was like, because the first time I started to see him for real, and I was there at Full Sail when he got there because I was a part of the student initiative program at Full Sail. So I've seen him when he got there. My first time seeing him was when he was interacting with Velveteen Dream. I was there the night that he did the flip over the top rope. And I was like, this guy is very impressive. But he's a fucking cornball. He's corny. I see what they saw in him. Sometimes there's a limited amount of space at the top. Not everybody can get there. You may think that you can get there, but bro, you got to come to the realization is that you're not that guy. And I think this week, Ricochet came to that conclusion because all the shit that he say on Twitter, all the shit that he does back and forth with fans who are criticizing, and we are open to criticize you. You take offense to that because there's a lot of truth in what these people like me are saying about you. These folks in WWE gave you everything to succeed. They gave you everything. And I finally figured out why these people talk trash about it. It's because they failed in themselves. Think about the job that you always wanted. Think about the career you always wanted. You worked your ass off to get there. You sat and watched WWE. You didn't sit and watch AEW. What the fuck did AEW did to revitalize your career? That's the most stupidest thing I ever heard this man say it. He said WWE killed my love for professional wrestling. Let's break down your WWE career, shall we? You was in NXT, you won the NXT North American Championship, had a good run with it. You got called up to the main roster, did pretty well for yourself, really. Former Intercontinental Champion, United States Champion. You're all on board. When Triple H took over, he put you in a high-profile match. You didn't really like that because you felt like you were deserving of a top spot, but you can't fucking talk. You can't talk. And these folks told you can't talk. And these folks told you to work on that shit. You ain't got no charisma. You ain't got no likability factor about you. You're a fucking cornball. You know what? What happened to that New Japan match you were supposed to have with Zack Sabre Jr. for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship of the World this past January? What happened to it? What happened to it? I want to know. You were supposed to get a match with him. Now you ain't got it. You want to know why? Because you're a fucking cornball. The nerve of this motherfucker saying that shit. And everybody says it. Once they don't make it in WWE, it's their fault. It's their fault. They didn't push me. It's their fault. How can they market you? Have you done anything to get yourself over with the crowd? Did you create a catchphrase? Well, wait, he did. What, the Jadakiss thing? You ain't from New York, bitch. Copying all these folks. That shit ain't getting over. This man put you in tag team matches each and every fucking week. You lose big matches. Except for the one that you won with Swerve. But what did that do, huh? Did that elevate you? No. Did you go on to beat Swerve at that pay-per-view to get a number one contender shot at Moxley for the championship? No. This motherfucker's a cornball. Now let's get into this stupid shit that this nigga said this week. Now he fucked around and found out. He fucked around and found out that Javon Evans is that motherfucking dude. Javon Evans is the young OG in NXT, under 25 years old, and he's killing it, right? Now, I don't know how all this started. I don't know. But he fucked around and found out. Okay, so Ricochet replied to somebody, and Javon saw it. See, this is when keeping it real goes wrong. Just like Dave Chappelle, that skit from back in the day. This is when keeping it real goes wrong. Dude, you're not about that. You're just a cornball ass nigga that just lucked up, and I don't even know how you pulled Samantha. But that's a relationship that's doomed to end in divorce in a few years. But that's for another day. So Ricochet said something, and then Javon commented off of it because apparently Ricochet said that he'll squash him, right? So Javon didn't take that line down. Javon said, my bad. I just got done training at the Performance Center under Shawn Michaels, something that you don't have or do, but I bet your brown egghead ass would squash me if Tony told you to. Much love, OG. He insulted him and gave him respect all in the same paragraph. So then Ricochet responds back. Brother, I was learning from Shawn Michaels when you was like 12, then went on to become multiple-time champion. Let me know when you win one, little boy. And yeah, if Tony asks me, I definitely beat your ass, cuz. He acting like he's a gangster. Nigga, you ain't never been in no hood. This come from the motherfucker that permed his hair and tried to look like a white boy in front of Triple H. And Triple H looking like, who the fuck this nigga is? Corny as hell. But you ain't never gave you nothing, right? Are you a multiple-time champion over at AEW? Are you why mention it here? Why mention it here if WWE ruin your love for professional wrestling? Sidebar, because I'm so fucking heated. This motherfucker said that, you know, the stuff that Dominic was doing? The stuff that Dominic is doing where he's like this obnoxious heel, you know, this smarmy heel. Dominic plays that off very well because he's young enough to do that. You in your goddamn 30s, you trying to play a character like that? WWE told him no. No, you're not finna do that. We can't even see you doing that. Bro, we see you doing this right here. And if you can't get down with this right here, take your ass down to Jacksonville, which you did. Now look at him. He can do choreographed, orchestrated flips and tumbles with the Cucamonga kids at the playground, and he can jump around like he did this past week. But they revitalized your love for professional wrestling, right? Have you won a championship over there? No. How long you been over there? Close to almost like a year now. And they've wasted you. I'm pretty sure next week you'll be in another tag match. I'll get to my point at the end of this, but I'm cooking with Javon because Javon cooked his ass. So right after Ricochet's response, Javon clapped back at him twice. You learned from HBK when I was 12 and became multiple-time champion, and now you're wrestling in front of 2,000 people every week for a crackhead. Talk about an upgrade, am I right? And he got him right there. You don't have to do no more, Javon. He already dead. And as you can see, Ricochet didn't have no comebacks because he can't, because he got cooked by a young nigga. Where you at now? You left WWE because you felt like you're a big deal than what you are. Some people need to be humbled. Some people need to be humbled like this. You left the company because you felt like you weren't being treated fairly. You're not being pushed right. They don't want to give you the dominant gimmick. They don't want to see you succeed, even though they do. They told this man to work on your promos. You didn't do that. They gave this man ample amount of TV time to try to get this man over. And this man coming in here with homeboy this and homeboy that. Nigga, nobody talks like that. This ain't the fucking 90s. And then Javon came back at him again. Javon, he already dead, bro. Sounds like Mr. Khan isn't giving you enough attention. Ah! Oh, my God. So you had to come for a successful-ass youngin'. You are giving me the most views on my posts, and I'm finally helping you get the most attention you've ever had in your career. All love. Wow. Javon, he already dead. He already dead. And Ricochet ain't saying shit else. Because you can't say nothing else. You got clowned by a 22-year-old. You old-ass motherfucker. And I know we probably the same age because I'm 38. I'm a OG. This is a young G. And you getting cooked. And everything that man said is exactly right. You left WWE to go to AEW thinking that shit is going to be great, and you're over there to doing nothing. Tag matches. That's what that man see you as. Just a flippy motherfucker that he can just flip around, play around with. That's it. You're nowhere. Your career is down, and then you sit there, and then you talk shit about WWE, these people who talk shit, but guess what? Guess what? You're going to have to tuck your tail between your legs and crawl back just like everybody else who talked bad about WWE. And then you'll get humbled yet again. You think Tony is going to just write it to where, man, I want Ricochet to be the AEW World Champion, and I want him to be my champion for a few months. That man ain't going to do that for you. You're getting paid thousands upon thousands of dollars to come in, work 1 week, flip, do your orchestrated shit with Young Bucks, and then go away. Wow. Congratulations. Congratulations. You couldn't cut it. I will be mad too if I didn't cut it in WWE and I'm a professional wrestler and they cut me. I will be mad too. And I will put that anger towards them just like he has. That will make me feel some kind of way too if it was my dream job to work at WWE and I couldn't make it there. I would be upset at myself too. This man look at what he's at. He took Zach Gowen's prosthetic leg. This is where he's at right now. This is where you like to be. This man is doing nothing with you, but you're on Collision taking people's leg. But AEW has revitalized your joy in professional wrestling, right? Get the fuck out of here, nigga. Shut the fuck up. You'll give your left nut to cut a good promo and go back to WWE right about now. You'll give it up. Instead of being over here doing this little indie shit right here. Ricochet, man, I done spent almost 20 minutes talking about your funky ass. You know, you ain't gonna make it. You're a great wrestler to memorize moves. I don't think you even know anything about ring psychology. I don't think so. Because the people in WWE, they were coaching you, but you didn't pick nothing up. And you stayed with that indie mindset until it got you to where you want to go. And now you got somebody who doesn't know how to manage talent, somebody who's not a boss, just let people do whatever they want to do, and now you can just do whatever you want to do. But don't mistake that to be, oh, they revitalized my love for pro wrestling. WWE killed it. Yeah, it's easy to say that when you couldn't cut it in WWE.